Hi guys, this is Sidney. So today I really feel guided to share some channel messages for you guys. So it's in relation to further opening your heart center and bringing that unconditional love within your energy field so that you can transmute any of the judgments that you may be holding on to right now. So a couple of days ago, Lady Nada came through with a lot of heart opening, heart awakening, heart healing, that compassion energy, the self-transformation energy. So right now, that is the energy that is taking place in the collective from what I tapped into. And intense healing code has been coming down continuously from Pleiades, from a lot of dragons. Unicorns are also in a lot of support right now, as well as, as usual, archangels. And so I was guided to share this message that love is all around you. And it's hard for us to recognize it, hard for us to tap into it, hard for us to sense that love energy around that is always present within our own existence, surroundings, is because of this concepts of this programming, this conditioned mind was the message that certain ideas should be loved and certain ideas that go against love. These are all programming from separation. What is love? What is not love? That's not supposed to be how love is. That's supposed to be how love is. So all these ideas of conditioned mind are settled as forms of judgment that are limiting our perspective on how and what love is, because of all the shoulds, the ideas of shoulds that is coming on pretty strong right now. So love simply means the sense of sweetness, the pleasantness, the tenderness. You can feel the love from the sun, the warmth, the generosity. You can feel the love from flowers, from its own unique beauty that it's radiating, that you are connected to, that is generating its own unique frequency that is love. You can connect to any object that you adore, that you keep to your heart since your childhood, that contains a lot of loving memories, right? Anything can be love, but that we limit in our mind what love is, what love should be. And that a lot of the times with Valentine's Day, all these traditions that we have right now, it is beautiful to celebrate love, but just that it's only limited to a certain types or ideas or concepts of what love is that is made from humans, that is not the cosmic love right now. So for example, the love between a woman and a man, the romantic idea of love that is existing right now on earth, that is very much tied to wanting and desiring and with pleasures and all of that. And I'm not here to say what is right and what is wrong, because everybody has different perspective, and based on that they hold different truth for them that is personal and that is unique to them. But just that I want to share this message to introduce you to expand your ideas or concepts of love to that of the universal cosmic energy is the strong message that is coming through with Lady Nada and from Source and Gaia at this time, because a lot of these concepts that we're living under right now that comes in a form of tradition that we celebrate that also needs to be transformed and elevated to that of the fifth dimensional energy gradually, because we are in transition right now. So that is coming on very strong, that whenever you feel that sweetness inside of you, that you adore something, adore a pet, your, I don't know, like a doll or blanket as a baby that you've been, attached to, anything that you are connected to, that you adore, that you love, that is not tied to the mind, but it's generating something within your heart, is love. Also, you can connect to an ant, for example, or you can connect to soils. You can connect to anything and generate that feelings of love within that is not tied to any concepts. And you can celebrate that love is the strong message. So for example, like the Valentine's Day right now, it's all pretty much about confession of love in a sense of romantic love, or it could be celebrating the love within your family members, within friends, but it's been commercialized, very heavily commercialized. So it's something to really think about and question these things, so we can expand our perspective. And that romantic love can be beautiful, friendship love, family love can be beautiful. But when we want to go in the fifth dimensional energies, it is beyond. There are so many different types of love that we can connect to, resonate, receive, exchange, connect to. And it is beautiful. It can be everywhere. And it can really help you to open your heart center even further, to transmute any of the energies that you've been constantly going to, that in the direction of negativity, that is the separation, that is the judgment. So it can help you heal yourself further as you connect to all these different types of love that is beyond the boundaries of the current ideas, concepts, or traditions of what love is not, what is supposed to be, what isn't supposed to be. So for example, the religion constantly creates these ideas of limitations through various concepts and beliefs. So for example, they consider the love between men and men, love between woman and woman, a sin, right? So they do not allow, it's supposed to be sinful, and that's not what love is. But when we look at it, unconditional love, that's the basis of all religion, goes against these beliefs. So it's contradictory in and of itself. So people do not think of these things because they are so programmed. They think automatically, meaning they're not conscious. They don't question anymore. So when you really think about these things, well, that is not unconditional love. Unconditional love is allowing one's truth, honoring one's truth. It's about freedom, but there's no freedom in these beliefs and teachings and concepts and ideas. So that is something that I'm guided to share, to open it up for you to think about. And it's for you as an individual to do what, how you're going to process with it. Because everybody is on a different level of consciousness right now. And the perspective they may have may be different from someone else. Or what they see as truth may be different from what someone else sees as the truth. But right now we are fighting that my truth is better than your truth. You see what I mean? That's where the separation, this conflicts, the wars are going on as well. There are many different causes for these conflicts in the world right now, but this is one of it, the separation. Okay, so that's what I'm guided to focus on right now. Okay, and another concept that I'm guided to share to expand your perspective right now is about this idea of creating your reality. So right now, a lot of these concepts about creating your reality, we automatically have this assumption because of this programming in our subconscious mind that it is something that we create outside of me. So like attracts like, you have to be the frequency that you want to manifest. All these ideas and concepts are deriving from this 3D idea, because the 3D world is very much about the physicality, meaning what you can see, what you can touch, sense. So basically it's about the proof. So give me the proof in physicality. If I don't see it, I'm not going to believe it. You see? So we need to go beyond in the fifth dimensional world, believing in the unseen, because we are the spirit and a soul in essence. We are not just the body. We are not just this ethnicity or skin color or how we look, because these are all separations. So these were all experimentations, right? Different races, different skin tones, and different cultures, and these ideas of nations, and these are all part of the experiment of the separation. So that's why we constantly compete which nation is more superior than the other one, where in fact that concept is from the idea of separation, but in essence, what is superior, what isn't superior, it does not exist. It only exists in one's mind, you see? So that's why they want to program people's mind in separation, so that we fight each other, and while we fight each other, certain few can grab the power over the masses, right? Because they're always going to live in fear and live in competition, meaning they're not going to recognize their own power within, where they can connect in peace, harmony, joy, love, right? Constantly in pursuit of those things without realizing it's already here with you. And so everything that we are programmed is to look everything outside of ourselves. So one of it is the creating your reality. So current concepts in general right now is that you are creating your reality outside of yourself, and that when you visualize, right, through visualization, you feel what it's like in this moment now, that it comes into your reality. That is the basic concept, right? But something beyond that we really want to think about is that we are not really creating outside of ourselves, because you are the reality. You are the reality. And this concept is something that you may have to really sit in, because this physical reality, so-called, is holographic in nature. So these things do not really exist. It only exists because it is in your mind. What you are experiencing every moment to moment is because of you, meaning it is your creation. That's why a lot of us are learning to own responsibility. So when you look at the word responsibility, it's response ability. So what it represents is that it is your ability that you already have within, that is innate, to respond to things. And in that sense, you are a creator. You are a constant creator. So that's why when we go further or beyond these concepts, you will recognize that you are constantly creating your reality. And when you're not conscious enough, you constantly create unconsciously, meaning on autopilot. So that's why the programming becomes very, very important. Because when you're not aware of what you've been programmed with and consciously reprogramming things, you're going to create the same reality over and over, and that's in relation to karma as well. You're caught up in this karmic cycle, okay? So you're going to interact with the same kinds of people, same kinds of conversations, the energy is same, right? For example, you gather and talk of other people, how they live, or like Hollywood stars, how many kids they have, how much money they make, where they live, right? What they wear, how they look like, how they change their hair. That is a lot of the topic of the conversations, or how these people, your friends, how they're living and how they're traveling. And what we are talking about is we are constantly creating assumptions based on judgments that are recycling over and over when we are gossiping. So you want to, for example, take notice of your conversations, what you are saying and what other people are saying, and you want to start question, right? Why do I spend so much time talking about other people, what they do and how their life goes, for example, right? Instead of learning more about how my body really works, the mechanisms, the hormonal responses in the body, the chemical responses, what's happening in our cells, what's happening as a result of me consuming certain types of food, how it's affecting my mind, how it's affecting my daily vibration or the quality of living, and how I can utilize my mind and reprogram consciously to create, meaning create my own reality, create my own flow, rather than feeling like I have no power over anything, that life just goes on, right? How can I do that? Or if I'm afraid to make changes, how can I work myself to become that person that brings change into my life and live the life that I truly desire? Or I don't know what I want, or I cannot think of anything right now, but how can I develop myself? What can I do to find that out about myself, discover more about myself? How can I love myself better? These could be the questions or the focus that you can have and discuss with other people. But right now we do not do that because of a lot of this programming, right? We constantly are programmed to chase after what society has been positioning certain people, culture, traditions, and ideas and concepts as better than who you are right now. That is a subconscious message. So it's like, I'm buying that clothes because I want to look like so-and-so, right? You're buying that makeup, for example, because you want to look like, you want to be like that star that you idolize on TV. So what are you doing in that moment? You're abandoning, neglecting your power and your beautiful light. And so you constantly suffer. And as a result of that, we are being programmed to compare ourselves and either it's extreme looking up to or extreme looking down on certain people because of these concepts, right? You look down on certain people because of how they are dressed, because of how they're talking, or because where they're from, right? We judge people by its cover, meaning how they look and appear. And so that's why a lot of deceptions could also take place. You could act like those people, right? So it's all preventing us from being who we are and finding our authentic light or truth within us. So while we suffer and we want to get out of this suffering, we constantly repeat the same cycle, so we don't feel like we are moving forward, and we start to give up on ourselves, give up on myself, right? Give up on my life. I just live by, and that's where a lot of this depression comes in, right? Life is lifeless, meaningless. It's same old, right? It's mediocre life. It's not exciting. So when we look at people who seem to live a life that is exciting, that is full of adventure, that's full of courage and all of these things, we look up to, or we get mad at ourselves or at those people. You see, these are the separations right now. So just I want you to put these concepts out there for you to think about today, that you are the reality. You are the walking reality. There's nothing that you are creating outside. And this idea of ascension as well, that we think that we have to move to a different space, a timeline or realm, right? This ideas and concept right now in our mind that is based very much on the physicality, but in actuality, energetic level, the ascension happens or is taking place based on your vibration. So within yourself. So when you are vibrating high, you're ascending simply. When you are staying in stagnant vibration or lower vibration, you are in that place of reality. So everything that you are is everything that the world around you is. So it's not that you create something outside of you, it's that you are the reality. You are the constant reality of yourself. You see the concepts here? So if this is something that you never been introduced to, I want you to explore this freely, because that is your power. I want you to hold your power within yourself, and I'm really challenging you to go within yourself to really figure this out or process it with your own soul, rather than someone telling you this is this and that is that. Because right now we want to further open our heart center, and to do that, the only person that can do that for you is you. You see? So you hold the key to your own heart. It's not like, but what we are doing right now is like we're asking some people, right? You seem to know all the answers. Can I have the key to my heart? And can you open my heart up? And that is not possible. Right now, as much as it is challenging, you need to find your own keys within yourself, because it's already here. But it is hard to recognize it because we don't believe that we have that within already. You see, it's about the belief. It's the sort of the truth. You're going to pull out the truth when you believe it. It's effortless. But when you are struggling to believe, you're going to push, but it's not going to come out. right? But we want to live in a world that is effortless, right? That is flowy, that is at ease, that is the opposite of the stress, anxiety, right? So in order to do that, you want to really think about it. The more you believe, the more it becomes effortless. You see, that's where the trust comes in, the surrender. It's like we don't trust the body, the intelligence of our body, right? And we constantly think in terms of these concepts and ideas that we've been conditioned with. And a lot of the diets right now, especially where I am in Korea, extreme diets, it's all about the physical appearance, how you look. So people go on diets. It's not about how these nutrients work within your body, how it's creating energy, right? So when someone says this is so and so is good and it's going to help you live longer, it's going to help you with your cancer, help you with your sickness, people start to chase after them without understanding what they're putting into their body first, you see? That's how we're programmed right now. So just by realizing that you are the walking reality, you don't have to feel like you have to do this to create something outside. Your reality is constantly shifting, changing, and transforming second by second. That is why we talk, they're saying that your shift can be instant when you realize something, when you raise your vibration. You could go from negative to positive in one instant like this. Aha, epiphany, right? You realize something, you are awakened to the truth in that moment. So that's why you want to constantly what? Be conscious of these concepts that you are attached to. We call this addiction right now. You are addicted to certain beliefs that's making you repeat the same cycle, or certain ideas or concepts that you constantly go back to based on certain traumas, certain karmic imprints that you may be working on. Where are the judgments that I'm holding that's limiting my mind? And whenever I face these beliefs and ideas and concepts, and I face some concepts, theories, and philosophies that go against what I believe right now, why do I react? Why do I feel this anger? Why do I feel the need to defend my belief right now? Are the questions that you want to start asking that's going to help you understand about yourself, so you can see through these illusions of these concepts and ideas. Is this constant questioning. And that's where, this staying curious, right? You want to stay curious with these concepts. So why do I hate? If I'm a Christian, why do I hate those people like gay or lesbian? I have this strong reaction towards them. I hate them. Why do I feel this hatred? Is a question that you want to ask yourself. And why do I start to react? But what is unconditional love, right? So you want to start exploring with these questions. So it helps you to see through the illusions. And when you see through the illusions, it is helping you also to transmute these vibrations that are settling as judgments, meaning separation. Because in that moment of asking, you're not taking one side over the other. You're not going for, oh, that's better or that's worse. That's sinful, that's better. Or that's sinful, what's the word, the that is sinful, that is not sinful, for example, okay? That the judgment is also a form of conclusion, right? You're concluding based on your own assumptions, right? We don't ask about this, about to the person directly. We make assumptions, right? And then we create stories out of these assumptions. That is judgment. We conclude that that person is like that. That person is this. That person's motive is that. We don't really ask, right? Why we don't ask? It's because of the ego's conditioning. We've been conditioned to feel like the ego wants to know and wants to feel like they already know everything about everyone, about the world, over other people, you see? And so I don't need to ask. I already know is an assumption, right? A conclusion that the ego makes. So we do not allow other people's stories, their truths. We don't discover, we don't ask to connect or learn more about the person. We immediately what? Assume, judge, and conclude, right? That's why when you look at the sports game right now, like for example, soccer, all this, high-paying soccer players in the world, when they win the game, they're being praised like a king, right? They're the hero. And when they lose an important game, they're being condemned by the same people the next moment, you see? And it's just in a different form, and it's no different than in Roman times, right? In the Colosseum, they were fighting and people were like wooing, and then they killed each other. And we saw these men getting killed or killing each other, but that was the form of entertainment, right? One day you're the hero, the other day you are a loser. So that's basically what we are doing on a collective level that is showing me as this picture that is quite prevalent in every society, in every culture right now, and it's been programmed that way. And we call that entertainment, right? We gossip about it. We refer to that person as a hero, and the next day he's a loser, and everybody hates that person or the player. So where is the love, right? Where is the unconditional love that so many of us are tied to religions? These religions do not teach us about unconditional love, but teach about what to punish and what not to punish. You see? So in the old days, a person of authority goes around and could play a whim on anyone in the market. Okay, how much is your fruit? Okay, let me see. And that person is trying to sell their fruits to this person. And then when the person of authority decides you're lying, okay, kill that guy. And he's no longer selling the fruits in the market, just in an instant. That's how the authority, the power over is working right now. So we need to start questioning, where is the love? Why do we want to play that we know that is against our nature? You see, that is the question that we all want to have, that I'm guided to share today about the idea of love. And okay, I'm going to bring this this quote that I read on my video before as well. So, for example, my background in this lifetime, I purposely chose not to be attached to any religion. But ever since I was a little kid, I was obsessed about like having wisdom somehow, and it used to really bring a lot of suffering and pain because I felt like I was very different from people around me. And also at the same time, it was like more of an obsession that I couldn't stop. I was like constantly hungry. So I would like collect like famous people's quotes and study the quotes from different religions, right? Not just like Christianity, but Buddhism. And, because I believed as a result of me doing that, everything came to one and it was the same, what they were trying to teach, but it was all manipulated was my the recognition. So I used to write all these things just on a notebook, and that was one of the things that I used to enjoy doing. And yeah, I used to make this little pocket book that I would carry around, and I would call it my own Bible. And then I would write down all these quotes that I resonated. So when I'm having a difficult moment, I look up and I just flip open, and whatever comes up would be the message that's for me. So in that sense, I was very much spiritual, like ever since I was a little kid, But this quote that really resonated with me, and so I bought this as well when I was in Seattle, which I also mentioned in my other video. As we're talking about love, and Lady Nada has been coming through for me to share this, I'm going to read you the quote, okay? So it goes, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always trusts, always protects, always perseveres. Love never fails. Okay? So this could be interpreted based on what you've been focusing on, what you may be drawn to right now. So it is up to you to interpret these messages or whatever that is coming up to you in this particular time that you may need it. But when we look at all these meanings together, it is talking about non-judgment. When we are in non-judgment, we are present because we are not trying to judge. And to judge, we are trying to collect data. We are trying to gather proof. So we go back to the past. We go to the future. And that's where a lot of our suffering lies, right? And when we come back to this present moment, we are simply feeling content. So for example, it's like this with patience. Let's say you're waiting for a train and it's like you want to get to that place quickly, but then it says next train is coming in 15 minutes, and that's too long for you, right? If it's 5 minutes, it's okay, but if it's 15 minutes, it's like, oh my gosh, right? And you keep looking at the clock, right? When is it coming? When is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming yet? And then it's already 2 minutes past or 3 minutes. Oh, and then you already have, like you say to yourself already, I need to wait for 10 minutes. So that is impatience, right? And that is you constantly living in the future. And when you say, Oh, okay, it's coming in 15 minutes. You surrender, right? You accept that that's what it is right now. That's where the acceptance comes from. When we don't accept what is, we start to create suffering because we resist with our thoughts. Why is not coming so fast? Why is it not coming late? Why it is not coming in less than 10 minutes? What's wrong with this subway system? What's wrong with this city? What's wrong with this country? It goes on and on and on, right? And we could create these stories that you are the reality in that moment. You're not creating outside, but entire reality of your experiences within yourself in a form of you experiencing these feelings of impatience that is creating a lot of anxiety, nervousness, stress in that moment, and discontentment, dissatisfaction, right? And in that, there is a lesson that you need to learn to free yourself from this limitation, you see? So that's where everything lies within you, because you are the reality. But let's say in that moment, after a while, you start to realize, oh, you start to recognize, I'm getting impatient because my thought is already there and I'm not accepting what is. And in that moment, everything shifts. You see, with that consciousness, with that awareness of what you are doing and how you've been programmed to play out automatically, you are now getting back to your center. And if you've been looking into this direction, you're like looking here in this present moment now. Okay, it comes in 15 minutes. And then you're going to accept it. You're going to allow that, right? And you're going to what? Focus on this moment now. You are going to decide your reality. Okay, I'm going to read the book until it comes. And as you focus on reading the book and being totally aligned in that moment with what you are doing, you realize, oh my God, the train already came. Okay, you hop on. That's how your reality shifts. It comes in so fast because your vibration is so aligned with this present moment. That's why when you are vibrating low, everything feels like it's slowing down. It's like you go into a business meeting that you know that it's going on and on and on and there's nothing, no result, and you get bored and it's already, it feels like you are there for 30 minutes, but it's only been 10 minutes, for example. Or it's the opposite. When you're vibrating high with what makes you feel joyful, in alignment and excitement and passion, right? You talk about something that you enjoy with someone who resonates with that. You share ideas, you talk about it, right? You encourage each other, right? You support each other. Time flies when you feel like you were just there like 10 minutes ago. It's already been an hour. So that's how the vibration is working. That's how your reality is really working. It is you that is the reality that you're experiencing. It's not that you are constantly trying to create something outside of you, meaning see the result, right? Okay, I want to manifest this much amount of money. I want to manifest this new house. I want to manifest this loving relationship, for example. It's all based on either relationship, health, finance, right? It's all security. So usually it's one of these things, right? And we get impatient. We're like, when is it coming? I don't see it in my physical reality. But when you know that you are the reality, the love, when you connect to everything that is love around you, you are connected to that love in this moment now. When you are connected to everything that you desire in this moment by giving your total attention and focus and commitment, what you are enjoying, meaning you're aligned with what makes you feel joyful, inspired, that is unique to you, that brings out your passion, that you want to create with those things, right? Because you're in high vibration. If you are an artist, you're a painter, you could paint, draw things for hours. And you could even forget about eating, forget about everything else. You could just paint because you are so into that, zoomed in, zoned in, right, in that moment. That is the ability that we all have. Response ability, your ability to respond, meaning your ability to create your own reality. That's why you want to own your power. That everything that you are experiencing, you are responsible. You see? So I want you to really think about this and sit with these concepts and what comes up. And it may be some ideas of or concepts. No, that's not. Or, yes, I see that now. It could be anything. But I want you to explore those freely, because whether you're feeling triggered, whether you are resonating, there's something that needs to be activated right now that needs to come up to the surface to clear your heart space right now. It could be judgment, right? It could be your ego aspect. And the last thing that I'm guided to mention is about how we can utilize affirmations that is aligned with the fifth dimensional energies. Is that right now we are using affirmations once again to see some results in the physical reality, meaning have this concept that something arriving in the physical. But we want to transform or go beyond these ideas by understanding that when you use affirmations, you're not doing it to avoid feeling fear. So for example, I'm in this right place, la 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 la. I'm saying this because what? The energy is because you are running away from what you are fearing. You're afraid to feel that. So you're using these affirmations as the protective mechanism right now. But when you do that, the real purpose of you using affirmations was to you facing your fears. But you're using this to what? Run away from fear. So something that I want you to do on a practical level, if you are particularly a person who tends to how can I say, avoid feeling fear, okay, then you may want to recognize whenever you are doing this, using affirmations, or because this is when we get obsessed about toxic positivity. Like, I only want to hear something good and positive, because the moment I hear something bad, it's like I'm going to attack that person. You don't know what you're saying, right? That's not true. Like in denial or projection or attacking, fight or flight, right? Because I'm afraid to look into my fears. And this can happen very naturally, very unconsciously. So this is very, very important when a person is doing the shadow work, because that's why it is so challenging. That's why it is not for the faint-hearted, I would say. It takes a lot of courage for you to look into these areas that you don't want to look into, that you want to escape from, that you want to run away from, right? Okay, so that is something that you can utilize your affirmations with. So whenever you use affirmations and you find or recognize that you are doing this because you're afraid of something, then you can utilize affirmations as a tool to discover what you are fearing and what you are trying to run away from, what you're trying to deny, or what you are trying to justify yourself with. You see? So that is something that you can do. And also when you are saying, I am this, or I am blah, 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 you're not simply doing it to create results, which is very much a result-oriented concept right now, because it's very much tied to the physical reality of I want to see this, I want this thing, the object, I want this new bag, I want this new house, I want this new car, which you can because everything is holographic in nature, right? But whenever we are anchoring these concepts down, we are going to stay in this lower vibrational 3D physical reality. But as we ascend with Gaia, we want to also ascend and transform these concepts to a higher or elevated perspective. You see? So whenever you say I am, or this is something like any positive affirmations, everything's working out for me, I'm in the right place at the right time, for example, I love myself unconditionally, however it is, wherever you are with whatever journey you may be on uniquely, that you resonate with certain affirmations, you want to focus on, instead of creating something outside of you that is focusing on the results, which is usually the future in the linear idea of timeline, I want you to think about you embodying these energies within you in this moment. So you shifting into that reality right now in this moment, because you are the reality. It is not you're trying to create something outside of yourself. Everything is happening inside you. You see? So when you say, I am love, you're going to consciously put effort into feeling that you are that love in this moment, rather than your mind is focused on, when I say I'm love, people told me that I will manifest love. You see what I mean? Because your mind is outside of this present moment already. It's going to create anxiety, impatience, right? It's about you transforming yourself through these energies of higher vibration. And we are not using these affirmations, we are not using this present moment as means to an end anymore. That is the old world that we are transitioning from, the 3D concepts. Okay? Everything is in the here and now. And as you do that, you raise your vibration, and that's how you are ascending. The more you transform yourself, the more you go through death and rebirth, you are ascending. It's not like you go find this 5D earth and you go in there like, as if you go into a new country, It's not like that. As you shift your vibration, everything around you matches that energy, and it's going to be a different world. That's where all these light beings travel through Merkaba. Because they're in higher vibration. It's the vehicle. It vibrates so high, they move through different dimensions. So in 5D, as we are ascending to a higher vibration, we need to embody this, we need to start embodying these concepts more. And this has to be generalized to transmute or transform those lower concepts that are in limitation or based on 3D ideas of physical world, okay? That we are moving beyond. So in that sense, we are expanding our consciousness. We are expanding our perspective. And we are called to do this in the age of Aquarius. The bigger picture, the higher perspective, right? The bigger perspective. So we go beyond, right? What we think we know, what we think is this, what we think is that. We have these ideas, right? It could come in different forms because universe is limitless. It doesn't have any judgment. Therefore, it doesn't have any stories. But when an ego is operating, it's so focused on, fixated on certainty, right? It has to be this way or that way. I like this and this and this and this and this, and it has to be exactly like that. And that's how we've been manifesting. But in 5D, you put it out and you allow the universe to take care of it. And all you need to do is stay present, be content, focus on what you are joyful, what you are passionate about, what you are inspired on a unique level that resonates within you. That is your authenticity. You see, that's how the energy is rising. So I share a lot of these concepts, and I hope it helps you in any ways, but I was really guided to do this. And we also need to move out of this concepts of doing better to be better. This doing relation to being, that tie needs to be cut off, because your being isn't related to what you are doing, because your being is your being. That's why we say you are enough just for existing. And if you're existing, you are enough. And if you are who you are, that is good enough. But right now, that tie, the condition between doing and being, the conditional relationships have been preventing us from realizing that I am enough in this moment. Wherever I am, whatever I do, I am enough, right? This is something that I'm really guided to share, that you don't need to punish yourself. You don't need to feel bad, feel guilty, or feel angry with you if you're not performing, or if you're not bringing certain results, if you're not doing something right now, because you're in the middle of going through a spiritual awakening. So you may be like not do anything on a 3D idea of physicality, that you're not working right now, you're not doing anything, but you're meditating all day, or you're just sleeping a lot. On a soul level, you may be doing a lot of shadow work. And this concept may be, I don't want to mislead you in any way that you should not do certain things, you should not do that, but it's because of this conditional beliefs of our own value and worth and how lovable we are is all based on this doing, pleasing, right? Performing, creating results, producing, very extreme divine masculine right now. So that's why the Lady Nada with the soft divine feminine is coming through to heal these wounds. That child, it's okay for you to be you in every moment. You are enough right now. It's okay for you. You are enough to rest. You're enough to enjoy. You are enough to be what you want to be in every moment. And when you are in that moment, you start to connect with what makes you feel joyful, content. And with that, naturally, these energies of fire within you, the divine masculine that wants to plan some ideas, or bring that to life, right? Produce, because you were inspired to do so, not because you are afraid that if I don't do this, I'm not going to be that. You see? So right now we are transforming this idea of choosing or doing something out of fear from doing something out of love, out of joy, out of inspiration, out of passion. And the more you do that, you will move towards your life purpose. You're not trying to seek the purpose, but by you aligning, constantly following those moments after moments, you're going to be in alignment with your life purpose, doing what you're meant to do. It's not like you figure everything out and then move. That is the divine masculine. You have to work the divine masculine with the divine feminine together to come to the union within. That is the goal right now. We are all healing from and working towards, okay? So with that, the last message is that a lot of the unions will take place. The divine masculine, divine feminine who are balanced within, whether it's a soul tribe in a form of friendship, whether it's a romantic partnership, lifelong partnership, there's a purpose behind for these souls to come up and conjoin. And they had to work through a lot of energies that were trying to prevent each other from conjoining, because when they merge, the light is going to be huge. The love is going to be huge. So that's why there were a lot of people, places that were trying to make them go against these energies, which was taking place on a collective level, especially last year, as a lot of souls were going through a spiritual awakening, a lot of the light workers and new earth leaders. So that is something that I'm guided to mention, that you want to stay faithful and then stay aligned, stay present, because everything is coming together. It's the message. If you are resonating in this moment and you want to continuously focus on what it means to hold non-judgment within yourself, and constantly bring down your energies to your heart center and operate from your heart center on a day-to-day basis. And one of the practices that you can do at this time is to meditate or feel the flow in your body, get in touch with your senses, so that you feel where the energy is flowing, and continuously work the energy in the physical body to still your mind, to calm your mind, to still your mind. And with that, the Bruce Lee's energy is coming through. Be like water, my friend. Be formless, shapeless. Water can crash, right? Or it can flow. So we are embodying that energy right now with that divine masculine, divine feminine energy, healing the divine masculine at this time. So with that, okay, light language is coming through for me to support you. To further open your heart center, if you resonate, simply say, I intend to accept, and you can receive this code through my hands. Huakaia kakao kukuaia kikia kakao kukua kia kakao wawawaia kikia kao kukua kikia kao kukua au kukua kikia kakao wawawawa kakao kukua kikia kakakaia kakakaka kukukua wawa ikukua wawaia kakikia kakao kukua kikia kao kukua kakao wakikia kukua 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 kikia kao kukua kakao kukua kikia kukua kakao kukua ia kakia kia kukua kakakakao kikia kua kukua wawaia kukua kaia kakao, kukua kikia kao, wakakao, wa 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 ia kakao, kukua wa wa ia ia ia, ukukua kukua wa wa ia kakao, wakakao, wakikia kukua kakao, wakakao, kukua kakao, wakakai kikia kakao, kukua kikia kao, wakakao, kukua kikia kikia, kukua 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 kukua. Touching your third eye. Kukua ia kikia, kukua kukua, touching your throat. Clearing. Kukua kikia, touching your heart. Kua kikia, kukua 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 kua 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 kukua kikia kia kia kao. Wakukua kua kua kukua kakao. Wakikia kia kao. Kukua kakao wa Okay, so I just helped you with opening your heart, upper chakras, your third eye and throat, especially right now, and to lock that in your heart center, to see through the illusions as you go navigate through this shadow work or these concepts. Okay, so with that, I want to send you lots of love, and that we are in this all together. Okay, so just honor whatever journey that you may be going through, and do not fall into temptations of comparison if you are doing so. Just take notice of that, and then bring yourself to the center and focus your energy to yourself. And stay in alignment of gratitude and grace for all the lessons that you're learning constantly. And that when you focus your energy to your heart center, right? And when you're in that sense and feelings of love and radiating from the heart center, it is protecting your energy field. It is protecting you from any lower vibrational energies, because your energy is in high vibration. It's not in match, simply. So I hope this helps, and happy Valentine's, everyone. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.